Hey everyone, thanks for joining tonight's post-game press conference. We'll kick it straight off to Coach for an opening statement, followed by questions. So, Coach, you've got the floor.
Thanks, John. Yeah, before I get to anything with the game, I mean, match day 34, here we are. And to be sitting in this position, I have to give credit to the club, to the ownership group, to the fans. They've stood by us through everything. They've given us a platform. They've set a standard, and we've followed suit. Unfortunately, that got away from us a little bit tonight, especially in the first half. So, we apologize for that. But look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture brings a lot of joy to us. And to think of the experiences and the joy that we've given. The city of St. Louis has been something amazing and something, memorable. Each and every one of us will take this with us for the rest of our careers. But we have to go in the mindset that we're not done yet. And unfortunately, we have to give Seattle a lot of credit tonight for the way they went about the game plan. And even though it was a tight game, not too many chances. Could argue that we had the better chances early on in the game and can't take the lead. But, against a team like this who don't give much away, we have to take chances. We have to take, the moments that are awarded to us and the opportunities given. So, unfortunately, we don't do that. And then you can see the quality they have in two moments where they get into our box. And, I thought it was a very tight game other than that. And we huffed and we puffed in the second half and, couldn't break them down. But yeah, I like the energy in the second half, and that's the standard that we set for this season, especially here at City Park. So, we have to, put a hand up and say, yeah, first half was not good enough. Second half, we're in the game.
Thanks, Coach. Tom?
Brad, do you like where this team is, though, right now, heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, listen, it's been staggered. I mean, we have some guys going with the national team, and obviously that's no excuses. I don't want to say that, obviously, you look at Vancouver and you look at this last game. But if you look at the last 10, 12 games, yes, then the picture looks a lot more rosy. But, the last two games is never good if you've lost them both. So, we look at that and we will reflect hard, and we'll make sure that we, turn over every page or every stone and look what's underneath there to go through it. But again, overthinking things never do good either. I think they lead to problems that don't really exist. And we have always a bigger picture in mind, and for that we'll work towards. And the bigger picture comes upon us next weekend, and that's something will be special for everybody here in the stadium, here in the community, us as players and coaches. Something that this club has never experienced before is a playoff run. So, how can we start that first playoff series game? And where can we take it? So we're excited about what's coming up. We just have to wait to find out who.
You talked about experiences and joys for the fans, but what about for the team, the level of experiences and joys that you guys have had?
Good. I mean, it's been an amazing season, but, we live in this realm of we're not happy with anything other than, a successful moment. And we've built so many, moments over the season, And that set a standard. And anything that we don't achieve, if we don't meet that standard on any given day, we're unhappy with that as coaches, as players. We drive a pretty high standard between those four walls there, and which is great, But also we have to remember where we came from and what we've done. So again, it's the fine balance we have to continue to work with between greatness, achieved so far, and not being comfortable, yet. And with a young group, often, sometimes that we have a slip, we have a blip in the system, a glitch. So for that said, all right, we'll throw this one out and move on.
Julian, go ahead.
Coach, given the way you guys want to play, just how frustrating is it, and how much of a difference did Seattle slowing the game down on the pitch, but also with the restarts make on the game?
Yeah, Julian, it's a good point. I mean, but again, credit to them. They use the tools and they stretch the laws and the rules of the game. And it's a savvy group. We've known this for many years now, and I've been in the league nearly 6-7 years. So Seattle are always there and thereabouts. And it's no surprise that they put on a performance like that in the first half. They know exactly the type of buttons we're trying to push, and they work against it the totally opposite way. So again, it's just this game between the game. There's nothing I can say about that.
It was one of the key things for everybody to get through the game. okay. Joachim went, maybe a little scary when he went down, but everyone got through health-wise and is.
Yeah, again, we're not really too concerned, right? We just want guys to, empty the tank, fight hard, be who we are, and that stood us good the whole season. So we believe in everyone in the roster. So, I'd rather, go down swinging in moments of, when in the first half we're a little bit passive, right? So we woke up a little bit in the second half and we really, stood for what we believed in and showed it, in certain moments. And that's all I ask. And then you can see the guys, start getting rewarded for their brave actions. But unfortunately, it was a little bit too late. But everyone's fine.
Did you go with the keel at the start just to give Indy a break, or what was?
Well, one thing you don't know, Indy had a problem in in the national camp. He had a problem with his calf muscle. They kept him out in the first game. He played 30 minutes, managed minutes and load, and we had to do the same thing. So we just weren't sure because of Indy's arrival how long he could go, and we didn't have time to assess. So we just took a cautious approach.
Danny Ramirez for Mora Libre. Congratulations on the first place.
Thank you very much.
Do you see yourself at the beginning of the season as being top of the conference, and how to achieve this achievement for this club? There's like the second season they're playing, and do you see yourself as a top of the?
Yeah, thanks. We set out from day one to be competitive, Danny. And that's all we wanted to do. So for, I would say, 30 out of 34 games, we were competitive. Even in games that we lost, I thought we were always in games and fighting to the very end. So did we believe internally? Yes. Have we been given the best facility in the MLS? Yes, to do our work every single day, and an ownership group who supports us, right? Plus, there's a lot of history and tradition in St. Louis. So we were not the first ones on the block. There's a lot of people before us, and we just wanted to, through our journey, bring everybody along who was never part of, a professional team in St. Louis in the MLS. So that way, I think we've done an amazing job collectively. But again, I said we set high standards. So we are not settled if we don't compete and win games and be challenging for something. So now that we've set the standard, of top seed in the West, we have to now set the new focus to the new levels and what's the next step for our group. I don't think anybody in the locker room now is happy with the last two games, but we're excited to kind of clear the slate and start a playoff run. A playoff run, it's one and done. So, it's about next weekend, and hopefully we can, put our principles and who we are, accompanied with what we believe in on display.
Go back to Julian.
Coach, you just talked about, clearing the slate. Are you kind of, obviously you don't enjoy losing, but are you kind of happy in a way that you can get out bad performances before the playoffs, kind of get out of your system, or is this obviously not the way you want to go into playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? We can spin any story whichever way we want to, right? And we have to make sure that we clear the players' minds. We have to clear our minds. We have to be focused on what the job is at hand. The two teams in the 8th and 9th spot, we've faced them already. We've had really good success with them, and that's got to give us momentum. It's got to give us excitement. It's got to give us energy, knowing that we can beat these teams. So that's got to be the focus of the week. Showing who's number one and performing like it, even on training days. So, we're just going to continue our business as we have done. And if that gets us, into the next round of playoffs, then it by all means. But, for us and our group right now, we're still playing with house money. I think there's a stack of house money left over from the season, and we're going to put that to good use.
Got time for two more if we have any.
Perhaps it wasn't a situation today where you had to pay attention to results elsewhere in the conference. Well, presumably when you got off the field, you found out what the situation was elsewhere, what else had happened today. We're surprised when you find out that Portland doesn't get in and how it all came
I
together?
haven't focused too much with that, Tom. I mean, we just picked up Sporting KC and San Jose. That was all, on the way to you. I'll go home and, in the darkness of my basement, I'll have a look at, the wrap-up show and see what's going on. But right now, the focus is with you guys.
I was just wondering if he was like, "Whoa, my goodness!" Well,
No, again, I mean, there's just so much going on in my mind about the game, the 90 minutes, the second half, the first half, and what's planning for tomorrow, the training, because the show doesn't stop, We've got training tomorrow. We've got to regroup and go again.
Got time for one more?
Amy?
Are we gonna play against San Jose or Kansas next game?
I'll tell you Thursday.
Thursday is when we are gonna know.
I'll tell you now.
And which one you like to be the one?
Again, I've said, we've faced these two teams in the season already. We've had good experiences with both of them, and we're excited about going to our first ever playoff game. The focus should be about us and what we believe in, and our principles, and City Park. We have to get off on the right foot, and we want to make sure that we put them in a tough game from the very first leg of the playoffs.
Thank you.
Coach, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Watch the Red Bulls game.
I watched